All right, good evening, everybody. This is meteorologist Brad Warner from Region Weather Live, my little YouTube channel that I have created to inform you on what's going on with the weather, with the other updates, and just a good in-depth discussion on the forecast and the things that are coming up ahead. So we're looking at a pretty good week. A little bit of snow here to start off. That's creating some hazardous road conditions across the central and southern parts of North Dakota. And we're going to take a look at that right now. Currently, our temperatures across the region we are in the teens to single digits up in the far north, down to the mid 30s down in the far southwest. You could take a look at our overall radar right now and where we're seeing the snow up through kind of Bismarck and Garrison. We're actually seeing it as far back as Dickinson and kind of in between the Dickinson-Williston area too, not really showing up on this particular radar, but then down through the Oaks and kind of in the tri-state area through that Sisseton-Morris. And then as it slides down the southeast, it actually transitions to rain as it moves into the Twin Cities. They're getting some precipitation right now as we speak. So winds are pretty light. So this is mainly just a light snowfall event, or I should say a snowfall event. I maybe shouldn't put the word light in there just because we do have some moderate returns showing up on the current radar. This is the Bismarck radar. And probably looking like maybe some moderate snow just south of Bismarck. Kind of along the Missouri River area, just north of Lavona, so I guess between Bismarck and Cannonball. Right now, possibly some moderate snow in there. Otherwise, the snow, mostly light, maybe some moderates in there, but I would say mostly lights and through the Hazleton, Moffett, Braddock area, Napoleon, down through, Wishick, Laird. Everything, I guess south of 94, we'll just call it in general. And then this is the Bismarck radar. This doesn't extend out that far. I could we'll click over to Aberdeen here in a little bit, but we'll just kind of jump back to the northwest and say, show you a little bit of snow, maybe in Harvey, Beulah, back in through Killdeer. And then also, like I said, probably in that Wadford City, kind of in this no man's land, I guess I like to call. There's probably some light snow there as well. They're just not really showing up on the Bismarck radar currently. So we're going to flip over to the Aberdeen radar, see how long it takes. But I was flipping around on some of the cameras, and boy, there's snow accumulating. Thankfully, there's not a lot of wind out there, so pretty much it's just kind of falling and settling on the roads. And there are some areas down there across the south and in the western parts of the state that had a nice warm day, so those roads have kind of warmed up a little bit. Now you're getting that snow to settle on it and kind of refreeze. So I would expect some of these roads are going to be a little bit slippery in the morning until the plows get by and get a little bit of daytime heating. So just be mindful that your morning commute might be a little slippery in a lot of these areas, especially south of 94, Linton, Napoleon, Lemoore, Foreman, Lisbon, into that Windermere, Hankinson, Wheaton, Dumont, Donnelly, Morris, Hancock, Minnesota. You can see where that area of snow is, and where the little bit heavier stuff, I wouldn't call it heavy, but heavier, maybe, like I said, maybe some moderates just north of Wishick, possibly just west of Edgeley currently, maybe along the South Dakota border between, or kind of east of Havana, south of Lidgerwood, might be a little bit more intense pocket of snow in through there. So that's kind of what we're looking at right now. Taking a look at just the road conditions. A lot of these have updated here in the last hour. A lot of, purples showing up, so snow on the ground. This particular camera here is out of Wishick. And you can see, look at the snow on the ground there, folks. It's just, it's going to be slippery. Plenty of snow still falling, obviously. So just be mindful if you're traveling tonight, or if you got a commute in the morning. Areas down and through here south of the interstate in east Missouri are going to be looking a little bit on the tougher side. So just allow yourself a little bit extra time as we head further to the northwest, or west, I should say. This is interstate around the New Salem area. And that road's not looking that good, and boy, it looks like it's actually pretty, coming down pretty good right now. So if you're out on interstate at this moment, you're heading west of Bismarck, maybe south of Bismarck as well, along Highway 13. just slow down. Roads aren't going to be that great. The snow is coming down pretty good in spots, so road conditions not looking that great at all. Minnesota, on the Minnesota side, just a little bit of blue out there. Some snow out there. I was looking at the Starbuck one earlier. Of course, that's not going to show me anything right now. We'll take a look at Graceville. Nothing really showing up on the cameras just yet, but I would expect some, probably about the same down through Wheaton, Morris, Glenwood, Benson area. So if you're traveling through there this evening and into the early morning hours, you're probably going to be having some issues as well. All right, now on to the forecast. We're going to make this quick here. Really not a whole lot to talk about by 6 a.m. Actually, we'll call this 7 a.m. now with the time change. Got to get used to this. This is where the model's predicting the snow to be. So just kind of exiting the southeastern part of North Dakota and through central parts of Minnesota. Maybe in the northern suburbs, there might be some slower morning commutes in the northern suburbs if it does continue to rain and if it turns over to snow. Possibly some problems there, but otherwise everything kind of out of North Dakota and northern Minnesota by 7 a.m. time frame. So as far as the overall accumulation goes, this is as of 7 p.m. tonight until tomorrow. Just a general, we'll just call it a 1 to 3 inches of snow, possibly. There might be an area down in the far southeastern part of North Dakota, maybe more so into northeastern parts of South Dakota that could pick up over 4 inches. It says 7. Probably overdone, but just be mindful if you are down in that region. You could pick up a little bit more intense, a little bit extra bit of snow compared to the rest. This other model kind of showing the same thing, maybe a little bit more down in the southeast, and looks a little more reasonable, maybe closer to that 4-inch mark. The only other thing really going on is Tuesday evening. Have a little bit of a front moving through, and so this is as of 7 p.m. You can see some rain moving into the northwestern part of the state. And we're looking at obviously a pretty mild day on Tuesday. This is Tuesday evening. I hope I said that right. Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. So Tuesday we're having, it should be a pretty nice day by that point. Everybody in the region is going to be above freezing, looking at a great day, but might have a little bit of rain. Now, as we get into the overnight hours, this is 1 a.m. Here it's kind of in through the central parts of the state, and there's going to be rain and maybe some freezing rain in some areas where the temperature is now dipped below freezing. As we get to the 7 a.m. time frame, you can see most of that has moved off to the east and actually decreased in intensity, but still that possibility of freezing rain. So just be mindful of areas kind of in through here, in between Devil's Lake and Minot, maybe more to Rugby. And then once you get down to Carrington, maybe Fargo-ish area, and then kind of that Erskine and up through Roseau and International Falls and along the Canadian border. Possibility of some travel conditions, some hazardous, poor travel conditions on Wednesday morning. Once this rain moves through, temperatures are expected to dip below freezing, so there might be some slippery roads. So just use some caution Wednesday morning. Keep that in mind. Allow yourself a little extra time on that day. So, but otherwise, that's really about it. Very light in accumulation wise as far as any freezing rain expected. So not much, but probably just enough to make the roads slippery. So you will have to take it easy on Wednesday morning. Morning lows here expected for Monday morning. Single digits in the far north, mid-20s down to the far southwest. Daytime highs, we're looking at around mid-20s in the far northeast to around 50 southwest. Lows Tuesday morning, teens in the north, 30 down southwest. And then as we get into Tuesday, here's the good part for everybody. Everybody's in the 30s. Everybody's above freezing. Areas down in the far southwest, we're going to be looking at 60, maybe even 65 degrees for highs on Tuesday. And we're looking at lows below freezing throughout the week. So great melting, great melting throughout the rest of the week. Lows below freezing, highs above. This is Wednesday. Here you can see, we'll go back into Wednesday morning. Mind you, here's that time frame where we're looking at possibly that rain moving through. So a lot of these areas are going to be below freezing. So if you did get some rain, Wednesday morning could be could be a little bit iffy as far as the travel goes one more time. And then Wednesday, it's going to warm up, so those roads should clear off pretty quickly during the day. Lows Thursday morning, 20s mostly. Highs on Thursday, 40s to 50. Low or up mid 30s, I should say, in the far north, 50s down the southwest. This is Friday. And then Saturday, more of the same, mid 30s in the far north, possibly 60s down in the southwest. Then as we get into the extended forecast, we're just going to kind of click through here on Friday. Not much. It's actually looking pretty dry. We don't have a lot showing up on the models. Like I said, we're just going to kind of slowly click through here, and you're going to see not much in the way of precipitation. The one thing we'll show you in a bit is just the continued warm temperatures. Here we are getting into Monday, maybe a little system that comes through, brings a little bit of light snow, maybe some rain. This is next Monday, not this Monday. Then moving on, but that's obviously pretty far out there, so we're not going to really count on that. Just to take in mind the overall pattern is pretty quiet throughout the next 10 days at least. Highs throughout this time period. We're not looking at any cold temperatures throughout this time. Here we are in the weekend, and what we're just kind of going through is the 24-hour maximum temperature. As I kind of click through these, you can basically see it doesn't cool down at all. We're looking at highs in the mid 30s to 60s down in the southwest, and then even as we get into next week, in the middle part of next week, maybe even a more of a warm up. So no real cold snaps in sight. Boy, we're looking like we're going to have some good melting finally coming for those of us in the east, and for those of you down in the southwest, just some real pleasant days. Unfortunately, the one thing we're not talking about, obviously, for you in the west is any kind of good moisture. So still going to remain dry out there. That doesn't really look like there's any big changes coming for that. So unfortunately, rain for you ranchers out in the west, farmers out in the west, not looking great. So thankfully, good temperatures, but you're dealing with the dry. I know you'd rather have some of the snow that's in the east and a little bit cooler weather probably, but for those in the east, we're finally looking at some decent temperatures, some more mild temperatures, some melting. So there you have it, folks. Some good things for some of us that want to get rid of the snow. Some bad things for those of you that could use some moisture. You're not going to get it. Just one more time, those south of interstate, east of the Missouri River, take your time traveling in the morning. Roads probably aren't going to be that great, but they will improve probably fairly quickly, especially after the snows get out. We get some sun. The sun's expected to come out. Clouds will probably move away later in the morning, so probably looking at a pretty nice day down there, and the roads should clear off nicely. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Make sure you like, make sure you share, tell people about the page. I think I've been doing a really great job as far as keeping you informed. I kind of nailed the bit of snow, not to brag, nailed the snow that came through kind of the northern parts of North Dakota on Saturday that caused a lot of travel, hazardous travel, a lot of accidents actually. And then I also was talking about this snow that is happening this evening. I was talking about that back on Wednesday already. So, and just the possibility of accumulating snow. I got to brag myself up a little bit. I think my forecasts I've been given have been pretty spot on and been pretty helpful. So would greatly appreciate if you go ahead and you share and you like it and you tell people about it, because let me tell you, I'm gonna get you I'll get you the weather forecast that maybe you don't hear on the quick little news clips that you get in the evening. So appreciate everybody. Have a good night. Take care.